So for the nature journaling activity, you're going to head out into your backyard and you're going to find an evergreen tree and you're going to pull off a branch or use scissors to snip off a small branch. So I chose this evergreen tree and I pulled off this branch, and this is the one that I'm going to study for my nature journal page. Okay, once you have your evergreen branch, you're going to use your senses to gather as much information about the branch as you can. So you're going to use your eyes to observe your branch closely. You're going to use your fingers and use your sense of touch to gather information about your branch. And then you can even use your nose, your sense of smell, to learn more about your branch. Then you're going to use some guided prompts to help you dig even deeper and explore your branch further. So the first set of statements are the I notice statements. So you're going to look closely at your branch and notice as many details as you can. So for my I notice statement, I wrote, I noticed that the leaves look like needles. So that's one example, and I'm sure you'll do great at thinking of your own. The second set of observation statements are the I wonder statements. So I want you to take some time, look at your branch, and let yourself wonder. One of my wonders was, I wonder why some of the leaves are bent. So I noticed that some of the leaves at the end of my branch were bent strangely, and I wondered what happened to them. Then the final set of statements are going to be, it reminds me. So for those statements, you're going to look at your branch and think about, what does your branch remind you of? And use your imagination. You can be creative with this. For mine, I wrote, it reminds me of a broom. It reminds me of Christmas. My branch also reminds me of hikes at Seichen. So after you complete your observation statements, the next part is to create a detailed scientific sketch of your branch. So the last part of the nature journal activity is to identify what tree your branch came from. You're going to do this by looking closely again at your branch and using SWEP's simplified tree key to help answer some questions that will help you identify your tree. The way it works, it's a dichotomous tree key. So the way it works is you answer questions starting at the top, and then you travel using these arrows as you go. So the first set of questions that I have to answer is it evergreen or deciduous? So I know that my tree my branch came from an evergreen tree, so I'm going to travel here. The next set of questions ask, are the leaves attached individually or in bundles? So when I look closely at my branch, I see that they're attached. The leaves are attached one by one. So I'm going to answer individually, and that guides me here. From here, I have to answer the question, are the leaves scaly and sectioned, or are they needle-like? And I know my leaves are needle-like, so I'm traveling here. And then my last question, are the leaves flat or are they round? So I'm going to pull off a leaf to help answer that question. I'm going to try rolling it between my fingers. If it rolls, it's round, and if it doesn't, then I know it's flat. So I'm trying to roll. Nope, it's not rolling, so I can tell that this is a very flat leaf. So I'm going to answer this way, and I see that it turns out that my branch came from a white fir tree. And so I'm going to add the white fir name to my nature journal, and now I'm done with that part of this activity. Once you've completed the nature journaling activity, you have two options. One is you can do it all again. You can go out and find a different evergreen branch and work your way through that process of observing, sketching, and identifying the tree that branch came from. And then the second option is that you can go straight to the second activity, which is the mapping activity. It's totally up to you, but I hope you spend some time outside learning about the trees in your forest. Thanks.